very quick video this morning on the extremely discreet reveal on the Triumph India website yesterday of what looks to be a new higher or more off-road focused trim level, I suppose we could call it, for the big selling Scrambler 400X. They're calling it the XC. Now, I don't want to be accused of fake news or clickbait, but this would seem to be the model we've been teased with in spy shots that have been doing the rounds online since the beginning of the year. And while Triumph India are clearly saying on their website that this model is available only in India, I think there's a very good chance we could see it in Europe later in the year, given just how popular the standard Scrambler 400X has been since it was launched 18 months ago. There is, unfortunately, very little technical information available on the Indian website and no mention of it at all on Triumph's official press site, but from picking through these few pictures and scant details that are on the Indian configurator, this new XC would appear to be Triumph's response to the two Royal Enfield Himalayan colourways, black and white I think they are, that can be spec'd with tubeless spoked wheels for a few €100 extra. Now, as you can see, in place of the cast wheels on the standard 400X, the XC gets spoke trims with tubeless tyres, and in addition to the three new paint schemes, white, yellow and black, you also get a high front mudguard and an enduro style fly screen. But as far as I can tell from the photos and the text, there aren't any other significant changes over the standard 400X, and this is sort of confirmed by the relatively modest price hike. Converting to euros and ignoring things like the sales tax, VAT, transport costs, etc. that we in Europe would inevitably have to pay, the standard 400X in India is about €3,000, while the XC is just under 3,300. So the €300 difference basically pays for the wheels, and you're not going to get plush suspension or fancy electronics as well. It's not like the Scrambler 1200X and XC, which are two really quite different bikes, and which is why at the start of the video I refer to this 400XC as more of a trim level than a separate model. The Scrambler and Speed 400s have been out for about 18 months now, and I've ridden them a few times. I'll put a link in the description to those reviews. They're both great bikes to ride, but they have been dogged by mechanical and electrical issues, which Triumph / Bajaj don't seem able to definitively resolve. Going on what I've read in online discussion groups, these problems include engine stalling at low revs, oil pressure problems, immobilizer warning light that randomly comes on, making the bike difficult to start, main wiring harness being misrouted, and paint durability, particularly with the matte paint finish. That said, warranties are there for these kinds of teething problems, and I have a friend here in Portugal who owns a Speed 400 and he's had no problems at all, so it's by no means systematic. Anyway, make of this information on the 400XC what you will. I'm not saying it will be in European showrooms immediately or ever, but I don't see why Triumph would develop the bike exclusively for the Indian market. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.